Good morning, everybody. How are you doing this morning? Looky here, already got Lefty showing up, and well, that was at 3 o'clock in the morning. Jeez, Louise, Lefty, what are you doing up so early? And of course, the Whiz is expert. It's good to see you. Hello, Eris. Thank you so much. Good morning, Deborah Kennedy, and good morning. Yes, of course, and Melanie Beeman. Wonderful. I hope everybody's having a great morning because we're going to bring in a guest here. And there he is. I think he downloaded the wrong Shrek. Spent an hour and a half printing the Shrek figurine, right? Yeah, good job. Here we go. No big deal. Oh, I think you downloaded the wrong one. How you doing this morning, Baldo? Good to see
Pretty
you.
good yourself. Waste not, want not. I'll find a use for it.
Yeah, you can always find a use for it. Good morning, Tulip Pep. Good to see you this morning. And we've got T. Underwood, Amos Girl. Good morning. That almost looks like you've got Farrell creeping up behind you, doesn't it?
She doesn't?
No, I mean look at her. She's got an awesome picture, but it looks like Farrell's creeping up behind her, just like peeping out behind her. If you look, you have to look really close. That's scary. Oh, good morning, Amos Girls. Good to see you. T. Underwood, awesome. Melanie and Masha Lund, awesome. Look at that. Good morning. She knows what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. So how you doing this morning, Baldo? Did you get a little rest? Or you worked? You just got off work, didn't you?
Yeah, it's 8:30 p.m. here, so
Yeah, sex business, it usually picks up much later than that though.
yeah. No. If I bounce real quick, it's because I got to take a call from
Yes.
from the ladies.
From the ladies.
Keep
I
them
know.
satisfied.
The man is, he's just a gigolo everywhere he goes. People know the party's playing. Hey, good morning, Jess. Good morning. Oh my. It is. Yeah. So, what was I thinking about this morning? Oh yeah. Oh, so you're about some. We'll have to say this in a southern voice. Someone that might be one of them there south. What do they call them? White supremacist or something like that. He might have done got himself caught. Mm-hmm.
White supremacy.
Yeah, he was white supremacy. Where the hell did that story go? I saw it just a second ago. Nope, that's not it either. Where in the hell did it go? There it is. There it is. Let me pull this up. I'm about as goofy can be. Share the screen, and if it ever works, there we go. So this guy right here, police track down escaped Idaho prison gang member and accomplice. Say pair may have killed another two people on the run. Oh, that's so dangerous. So, oh no, they look like cops to me. Doggone it. Oh, we're talking about prisoners. Gotcha. Not the prison guards. Damn it. Police on Thursday arrested two of the white supremacist gang members, an Idaho prison inmate and accomplice who helped him escape following an attack on a corrections officer in a Boise hospital. Investigators are looking into whether they killed two more people on the run. Well, with a name like Skylar Mead, that is such a weird name, Skylar Mead. I wonder if that's made up. And the escaped inmate and Nicholas. I would change my name on either one of them.
Umphnor?
I guess so. Umphnor.
Something like that.
I think I know somebody that could probably help us with the language, because I am not really good at it. The language thing, really bad at. So all we have to do is
nice.
Bring in the lady that probably knows this name better, because you were covering this yesterday morning.
Well, I did wonder why you spelled Skylar the girl way. So,
The girl way. Well,
Skylar's a boy name too.
well, yeah, but you usually spell Skylar for a boy with ER at the end.
Well,
I don't know.
you can't hold that against him. His parents were
Well, that's,
high on
yeah, his
crack when
parents were schmucks.
they signed the birth certificate. Is it AR or is it ER? Who gives a damn? Just put the initials. I don't know what them's is. Just put an X. What's that?
Well, I have a nephew. His name is Cayenne. No,
As
my
in the
sister said
pepper.
my sister says no, it's Cheyenne. I was like, no, it looks like Cayenne. She's like, she just looks at me with that blank look in her eyes that she gets sometimes. I'm like, never mind. She's like
Okay,
that.
so
I was like, why would you do that to your son? Like he's going to be going into like every school teacher that he's going to be dealing with. He'll be like, Cayenne. It's like, no, it's Cheyenne. It's like, did you think this one out, or you just were looking at the Porsche and thinking that you call it?
well, this is how
Cayenne,
I
you mean
knew.
like the pepper or like the color?
This is how I knew Mr. Mo and I were soulmates. But his brother, his first child was named Sean, but Sean, so spelled the Irish way. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, if they have another son, they should name him American Sean, S-A or SHANW. So you have, Irish Sean and American Sean. But they didn't find that too funny when they had another son. Go figure.
Yeah. Well, or if you have a boy, name him Sean, and then if you have a girl, name her Sean. But anyhow, Skylar and Nicholas, they shot two correction officers early Wednesday to break Meade out of custody. They were arrested after a brief car
Shizzy,
chase
read further
Thursday.
into that article because I don't know that they shot them or other guards at the hospital shot one of their own, shooting at
Oh damn!
At-
Friendly fire.
at one of the escapees.
Oh
Yes.
my. That's awesome. That's awesome. Good job, guards. Just- no, I've got
One
him.
job.
No, I don't have him. He's getting slippery.
That's almost as funny as the IRS agent who got shot at a training facility.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't know who to root for at that point. You're like, that's terrible that someone lost their life, but who do I send flowers to?
God bless.
No, Hallmark needed to bring out a new card. I'm sorry you got framed for this crime.
Yes, it is. It's so bad.
Don't
So
nod at me. I laughed.
But they did get arrested Thursday afternoon in Twin Falls, about 130 miles from the hospital. So it was only a brief car chase on Thursday afternoon. They said during a news conference Thursday they were investigating the two homicides, and police found shackles at the scene of one of the killings, and that's one of the ways we tied them together. Oh, so they think that they maybe they self-deleted. I don't know. Clearwater Sheriff's Office said via Facebook that received a request for a welfare check Wednesday evening after deputies found a man who had no longer lived. The suspects were several hours out of the county when the call came in. According to the office, no further details were released. Yet you're going to continue telling the story because Me 31 was sentenced to 20 years in 2017 for shooting at somebody else during a high-speed chase. Oppenheimer was released from the same prison south of Boise in Idaho. Oh, south of Boise in January. Sorry. The two had at times been housed together, both members of the Clarion Knights prison gang, and had mutual friends in and out of prisons. No shots were fired during the arrest. Oh, that's surprising. I mean, I figured that's what you do whenever you're on the run. Man on the run. The
I know if
attack.
they weren't blazing that out loud, just out of all the speakers, and the
Yes.
cops were like, we could not identify them because no one was blazing "Man on the Run."
Yeah.
And all this
Hang
stuff.
on.
maybe
Don't
they
all
were.
cars have an inmate chase button in their car and it just blares out all the
When
chase
I'm
signs?
president, they will.
Excellent.
No.
Mo
No,
for
what happened
president.
is they weren't playing Another One Bites the Dust. That's what was happening.
Well, I'll have a play list. It'll be like, oh gosh, I didn't shoot the sheriff. Bohemian Rhapsody.
I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy.
Oh,
See?
whichever one it was.
That's what was probably playing in the hospital. Like, I shot the sheriff, but no, somebody else shot the deputy. That's so bad. After the ambush, one officer shot by Oppenheimer was critical but in stable condition, while the second wounded officer had serious but non-life-threatening injuries. A third officer would also sustain non-life-threatening injuries when a responding officer, mistakenly believing the shooter was still in the emergency room and seeing an armed person near the entrance, opened fire. Oh, God.
You mean the giant, police outfit didn't confuse you?
Oh, my God. No, Myron, he that is the guy that you wanted to have on the team that went into that school where no officers moved for 45 minutes.
Oh, Uvalde?
Yeah.
Was this the same officer who thought he was getting shot at by acorns?
They're like, son, if you mess up again, we're gonna have to send you to the border.
Yeah. Yeah. Stop.
Son, we get that you're the president's cousin, but this is getting ridiculous, okay?
Well, it's a third cousin, twice separated by marriage.
Well, yeah.
After the ambush, we said correction officer John Geez, why do these people have to have such screwed up names? T-Wald, or is it Two-Wald?
Tewalt?
I said T-Walt or Tewalt. I said
Because it's
T-Walt.
Because
But
DeWalt.
what if the T was a D?
Yeah, to be
Then I
DeWalt.
would say D-Walt. So I said T-Walt, but that's my Midwestern coming out, so I don't know.
Well, and so because we don't want to misgender here, it could be correction director Josh, could be a female. You never know. Don't want to misgender. One guard.
It's ma'am.
It's ma'am. One guard had been released from the hospital. The other two are in stable and improving conditions. The department is reviewing its policies and practices in light of the escape. Yeah.
Don't shoot security guards.
Yeah, you'd think they would do
Yeah,
this.
maybe if
before
he
you
looks
start
like a
shooting each
cop.
other.
Wait just a sec.
Announce yourself,
Maybe-
and if he points the gun, then maybe. Oops, said the wrong. No word. My bad.
Say friendly or not.
Maybe give them a warning, like drop the weapon. And it just goes to show how horrible of a shot this guy is. He couldn't even kill the guy. I mean, I'm just saying, if I saw somebody and I didn't and I thought that they were a suspect, I'm just saying they might not be here today. So maybe it is a good thing this guy is a horrible shot.
Shizzy, he was going for his non-dominant leg, like our president-in-chief said, not go for center mass. You just try to wing them in their non-dominant leg.
Well, he's a good thing it wasn't one of my friend's wives. He said he swears to God if he feels bad for the guy that breaks into their house, because he's taking her to the shooting range and he's like, no, right center, right here is where you want it, right in the little center of the dot, every single time, right in the crotch, boom. It's just like, I swear, I feel for the guy that breaks in ever. Like any distance, it doesn't matter. She could be right up on it and she, boom, right in the crotch.
She sounds like a woman I want on my tactical force.
Yeah.
She sounds like the kind of woman I want in front of me, not behind me.
Listen,
Well,
most Secret Service is going to be needing a few sharpshooters.
Oh yeah.
Get too close to Mo and lose your man bits.
Yep. Oh my God.
You'll lose your head and not the one you're thinking of.
Yeah.
What was it? Mo, I was paying attention, I swear, but you lost me at Clinton yesterday. Everything before and after is a blur. Good morning, JD Luck.
He wasn't. It was just the airplane or the airport. I
Yeah.
even didn't say the cursed airport's name at the end of the article. I was trying to be nice, Eris.
We're channeling every resource we have, trying to understand exactly how they went about planning it. Why? I mean, okay. The Aryan Knights is a gang that formed around 1990s in the Idaho prison system to organize criminal activity for a select group of white people. Well, that would be sort of white supremacists, wouldn't it? Like a select group. That would just like it sort of says it in the name, just pointing out something
Their
that's
new
pretty obvious.
DEI inclusive, leaders, though. I mean, it's become a diversified group.
Oh yeah, I mean, some of them will, the Idaho branch might not let everyone in, but the one in South Florida, well, that one, they become a little more diversified. It's like, yeah, 1990s, we're a little bit over the boomer stuff, and so we're starting to be more diversified. Might throw a few Latinx in there.
I mean, I
Latinx.
figure context clues, we could figure it was probably not the most inclusive organization, but, please explain to us, AP. This might be why you're going out of business.
Could be. In 21, Harlan Hale, described as a leader of the group, was sentenced to life in prison for his role in a plot to traffic drugs behind bars. Oh, and use violence to collect unpaid debts. Well, yeah, that's usually, sometimes you gotta just, break a little leg here or there, maybe a finger or two. Federal prosecutors described the Aryan Knights as a scourge within the state's prison system. The hate-fueled gangs. Well, does it always have to be hate-fueled? Have you ever seen a peaceful, loving-fueled gang? I mean, really. I mean, think about this. Have you ever known a single gang that, well, I guess there are the Jesus freaks with, that are all like, want to get up in your face and hug on you and stuff. And you're just like, no, really, serious. You're smothering me in love. I feel violated and violence is happening
The
against
Hare
me.
Krishna.
Yeah, but were they really a gang? I mean, I'm just
The
trying to
Golden
think.
Girls?
Well, that's true. They were a little bit of a gang. That gang
I mean, you
mentality.
had to bring your own cheesecake.
That's true. I mean, they were so dangerous. Like I said, hate fuel.
Lynch was to all the men that were still alive.
I mean, I'm trying to think of maybe a peace-filled gang. Well, there are the Haitians; those are a peace-filled gang, aren't they? And there's scourge within. Oh, geez. Many types of criminal activity and cast shadows of intimidation, addiction, and violence over prison life. Well, let's see. You're in prison. What else do you have going on? I mean, I'm going to be here for the rest of my life. Do you think it's? You think maybe I could just get high? But I got high.
They could always start a crochet group.
Yeah, that's going to go far, but they won't let you have needles.
Wow. No, that's macrame.
Oh.
Crochet, you still have a hook.
Well, they won't let you have any sharp implements. I mean, and if you ever tried to macrame with plastic macrame things that are flimsy, because you don't want to poke anybody's eye out with it, that kind of thing. Oh, so
I guess
dangerous.
That wouldn't work.
I'm just so Anti-Defamation League counted 75 different white supremacist prison gangs, but only 75. You would think with all the prisons all around the United States that there's only 75.
Damn autocorrect. It's meant to be American Defamation League.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know. The ADL said two of the largest such groups, the Aryan Circle and Aryan Brotherhood of Texas, had at least 1,500 members. Oh, And this this guy sounds like a white supremacist. Mark Pitt Cavage. I mean, if I had a name like Pitt Cavage, oh no, he works for the ADL. Got it. That makes sense. Estimates that the Area Knights has approximately 150 members behind bars and roughly 100 more on the street. He said the group operates in other states, including Washington and Oregon. With all white supremacist prison gangs, the ideology takes a backseat to organized crime. That's just a given. They use that sort of a glue to help keep together and help keep them loyal to the gang. Pitt Cavage said white supremacist prison gangs are a very different phenomenon from neo-Nazi groups like the Aryan Nations, which had a compound in North Idaho at its peak in the 80s and 90s. It was a compound, of course.
You mean a 2-person shack in the woods?
Yeah, that's what they consider.
So there's 150 of them possibly running free in Americas, but we've spent what, I don't know, $800 gajillion making sure they don't run free in America. Okay.
Yeah, but think about this. They said that there were 75 gangs in prisons. Okay.
Yes.
There's 100 members or 150
Yes.
members on the inside and 100 on the
Yes.
outside. That doesn't sound like a white supremacist gang. That sounds like a group of people. That's like 2 or 3 people. Maybe even one of them. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sort of doing the math in my head here and I'm going, okay, that's not even 300 people spread over 75 gangs. I mean, is my math off? I mean, somebody do some internet math here for me. Because
that's not even a rounding error. Like, that's not even a rounding error. It's like, we're missing 100
publicists out there.
I'm just saying, like, how many
the supply and demand problem they have for extremists of a certain variety is.
Oh my God. It's I just don't get it. Oh my gosh. What in the hell? Oh geez. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. 250 people is not a gang. I mean, maybe you have one that's like the most powerful one and they have 5 members.
Yeah.
Needle point and cross stitch is going to do a hell of a lot of damage unless it's precision. It's just
well, we do show that we have the fortitude to stab something over and over again.
Oh God. Security for transporting Meade to the hospital from prison was enhanced because of his violent history, but the department will review their overall policies for transporting inmates to hospitals. The attack came amid a wave of gun violence at hospitals and medical centers, which have struggled to adapt to the rise of threats. Like, I'm sorry, how many threats are going on in hospitals? I mean, okay. Johnson reported from Seattle and Thiessen from Anchorage, Alaska. What the? Okay, why is this dude reporting from Alaska? This makes no sense.
To be fair, I would report from Alaska if given the chance.
He covers Alaska Native issues and other general assignments. Well, then what the hell does he know about what's going on in Idaho?
Because there must be a prison population of white supremacists in Alaska.
That's where they got the 150 at. Damn it.
It's hard to be Tiffany Amber Thiessen's brother. Look, he had to move to Alaska to get away from the family shadow. Saved by the Bell impacted him big time. He moved to Alaska, grew a beard, and became part of the AP. That's my headcanon, and I'm sticking to it.
I'm having a hard time understanding this whole story because, you know, all of these 75 violent gangs, all 3 of them.
Well, they don't want to get into who the other gangs are.
They can't really, because just because Jim Bob over there says, I'm white supremacist, does not mean that Jim Bob is in a gang or even part of a gang. What's your gang name? It's called the Jelly Bellies. Okay, that doesn't sound scary. Well, we just don't like them people that are different than us. Well, who else is in your gang? Man, just me. Me and my dog Tupac. Yes,
Sir,
Tupac is like, no, they stole that from me.
I was the original Tupac.
My gosh. What's your other dog's name? Snoop? Jesus Christ, man. What
I'm
in
thinking
the-
about getting a new one, naming him Ice T.
Steve.
Oh,
Oh God. All right. So, we have some election news, of course. So, as election years, Venezuelan government keeps arresting opponents, like allegedly trying the criminal plots.
Oh, because that doesn't sound like it's fortified or anything.
No.
is Maduro still fat? Yeah, look again.
But why is he with
not just-
Ozzy Osbourne?
Well, I think that's his wife.
Oh, that is Ozzy Osbourne. Don't. You can't fool me.
You know,
Ozina
he's
Osbourne.
yeah, and she's looking better. I mean, whatever she's been doing to detox,
Yeah. Getting
he's
some
not
hips
laying
back.
off those empanadas though.
As the Venezuelan government would have it, President Nicolas Maduro and members of his inner circle have been the target of several conspiracies since last year that could have left them injured or worse. Few details have been released about the alleged plots, but the government has cited them in the arrests of more than 30 people since January, including a prominent human rights attorney and staffers in the leading opposition presidential candidate. You think maybe, local and international non-government groups, the United Nations, and foreign governments have described the crackdown as a pretext to stifle political opposition ahead of the election.
No.
No. This would
What?
He's
It's
fortifying it. That's what
This
he's
sound-
just fortifying it.
yes, this sounds like election disinformation. I mean,
Yeah. People in
no-
Guyana were not contacted to ask how they felt about this.
you would never ever have any sort of president use like political people outside of his realm, on the outside to like have arrests or anything like that,
Yeah.
You'd never do something like that. You could only have this happen in some
Mayors in
third
Chicago
world
wouldn't
country.
do that.
No, you wouldn't have DAs in Georgia do that kind of stuff, like bring charges that make no sense. Yeah, there would not be corrupt. They would not do corruptive things. They're so chill. Gangs in Alaska started moving in when I left in the early '80s. See, there you go. They were looking for you, T Underwood. That's what it was. Just, you were holding them back, doggone it, with that fist of justice. I'm just kidding. Oh, local and international non-government groups, the United Nations. Latest arrest took place Wednesday, shortly before the country's top prosecutor announced arrest warrants for 9 people working with Machado's campaign, who he accused of participating in one plot. Oscar Murillo, it sounds like Murillo, general coordinator for the General Venezuelan Humans Group Provia, said officials are coordinating actions of the police, military, and civic groups to tamp down on any anti-government activity. They would never do that. This is translated. At first, I thought that this transitioned into greater political repression and deepening of the policy of persecution that seeks to break civil society at a time when perhaps the ideal thing would be talking about the public policies needed to reverse poverty or inequality. Well, there you go. That's your mistake. It's always poverty and inequality.
Shizzy, no, we have won the war on poverty.
Yeah.
It's been. Didn't you see Mission Accomplished, that banner we put up last year?
That's right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Well, and they're getting funding to stop the big C. That's happening also. It's like that's one of Biden's big policies right there, where he's going to stop big C. It's going to happen.
But I thought
Because he's
Bo died fighting terrorisms in Guantanamo Bay and possibly the south of France on Omaha Beach. I
well.
mean,
You have to understand that you got people that are smart, and I am not smart. Just so you know, there is no smartness here. It is complete idiocy. Where is the one that I saw? Because this was okay. Let me see. Because I've got to show this. This is too damn funny.
Heard your opening statement. It's submitted to the record, part of our proceedings. I have a quick question. Simple.
This is so
it
funny.
your testimony today that you personally witnessed President Joe Biden commit a crime?
Yes.
I believe the fact that he was sitting with me while I was putting together a
Did
business
you
deal,
witness the
but
president commit a crime? Is it your testimony today?
Yes.
And what crime
Yes.
do you have you witnessed?
How much time do I have to go through it?
It is simple. You name the crime. Did you watch him steal something?
Corruption statutes, RICO and conspiracy.
What is it? What is the crime, sir?
RICO?
Specifically.
In the name,
you
racketeering?
asked me to answer the question. I answered the question.
No.
RICO, you're obviously not familiar with. Corruption
Excuse me,
statutes.
sir. Excuse me,
Farah.
sir. Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me.
RICO is not a crime. It is a category. What is
It's
the
a category of crimes that you're then charged
You
under
have charges.
a long 100.
You
Well,
have
shut up.
charges. Sir,
You want me
please
to name the
name.
exact statute
Sir,
under RICO?
yes.
Let me
Well,
name
it's
them.
funny. In this committee room, everyone's not here. There's over 18
All right, sir. I reclaim my time.
lawyers that
I
went to
reclaim
law
my
school.
time. I
I'll leave
reclaim
it
my
up to
time.
you guys
Okay,
to
thank
define
you,
the
sir. I
statute
reclaim my
under
time.
RICO.
Clearly,
You're not answering
yeah.
the question I asked the way I wanted you to
Continuation
answer it.
of the 15-month
This
saga
is the best part.
of
It
the
gets
Republican
better.
majority law
Okay.
in the desert.
Okay,
Impeachment.
we don't have to hear any more of what she says. All I want to show you is the responses to this. It is so damn funny. Oh, where is it? Come on. She gets just destroyed. It's like debunked. Do you hear yourself? I'm sitting here with my father, and he would like to understand why the commitment has not been fulfilled. Tell the director that I would like to resolve this now before it gets out of hand. And now means tonight. And Z, if I get a call or text from anyone involved in this other than you, Zhang, or the chairman, I will make sure that between the man sitting next to me, which would be his father, and every person that he knows, and my ability to forever hold a grudge, that you will regret not following my direction. I am sitting here waiting for the call with my father.
do you think someone told her that the red lipstick makes her smarter, and so she thinks she's smarter with it, and she forgot it that day?
I mean, she gets so owned right here. It's like it makes sense. You don't know RICO is a federal crime since Democrats don't follow laws. But if RICO is not a crime, then why are we even going through the shenanigans in Atlanta with two different, not just one, but two different trials if it's not a crime? RICO, look it up or ask your handler to explain it. So the case in Georgia against Trump is dismissed because RICO isn't a crime. Oh, you, Joe, the Dems have given us open border fentanyl, DEI, gender ideology, mandates, higher prices, soft on crime, Ukraine war in the Middle East. And are you retarded? Just like the people
Yes.
just
Yes, she
going
is.
off on her. He made you look like a bartender that you are. Why didn't you answer it? Let him answer the question. Is it because he said yes instead of no? The only sham I saw was your line of questioning. Next time, get yourself called as a witness, or you can get up on your high horse and proclaim your beliefs and opinions. I mean, it's just amazing how she's just she's
And there is nothing I dislike more than the chicken neck when we're supposed to be professional.
oh, the helmet that kills me. Okay. What crime did they commit? RICO for one. AOC RICO is not a crime. Example 1301. 18 U.S. Code Chapter 96 racketeer influenced and corrupt organizations. It's just like you're a narcissist talking over someone who doesn't mean that their point isn't valid. Can you explain RICO Act again? How do you debunk the fact that Biden crime
Well, but
family
he
has received
also
funding?
said after that corruption, influence, bribery. He went on to say those specific things, and she's like, "RICO is not a crime." And he's like, "Are you gonna let me talk?"
Yes. The definition of RICO is not a crime, but it is a crime. Racketeering is considered a crime. And if you are breaking RICO statutes, it is a crime. And she's asking why, what has he been charged with? Well, he hasn't been charged with anything because you have to find a fact and you don't even want to hear the facts. So it's just sort of like, well, prove that this person shot this other person. Well, the fact that I watched him pull the trigger, well, I mean, define pulling the trigger. I mean, if we're getting into definitions, this is typical Democrat playbook shit. So I'm just like, oh, like this is your job to find the crime. You're asking, did you see him commit a crime? Yes, I saw him commit a crime. I was right there whenever he was doing things that he shouldn't be doing, that he was committing illegal acts. That right
No,
there.
don't answer it that way. That totally debunks what I was about to say. Shut up.
Exactly. It's just such foolishness. But like I said,
She thinks she's a lot smarter than she is because she's in an echo chamber and everyone yes queens her all the time. And that's her problem.
Oh my God. She may have used the AI definition. I was on with MG last night, and we were going over the over her response, what's her face's response, Lynette's response to the federal pleading. And the statutes, she wrote this herself, okay? And if you see it, you're just like, no, a lawyer wrote this. A lawyer had to write this. She's got statutes in there. She's got the quotes right. She's got everything as it should be. The only problem is none of them were correct. Like she was citing statutes that were not even, it would be like saying Code 1842 of the United States Code of Military Justice, blah, blah, blah. But it was quoting something about penguins, not allowed to walk down the street in a collar. I mean, that's what the statute was citing to, like had nothing to do with it whatsoever. It was so horrible. Oh, thanks,
My
Wolfman.
shock.
AOC makes me, used to be a bartender. This makes me wonder how bad of a bartender she was. Well, she could dance. She can dance if she
I don't
wants
know. I'm thinking her Long Island iced tea, one of them, and I'd be dead asleep.
to.
Like
Thank you
she
so much,
probably
Wolfram.
makes them real strong.
So something I'm wondering about this page is what's the 3-body problem?
Oh, we'll get to that one. We'll get to that. That's a good one. I just had to go through this Maduro stuff. Like I said, politics, election stuff is super weird. Super weird. And of course, this whole thing that they go through is talking about how wonderful Venezuela is. And isn't there people that are like leaving Venezuela to come to Mexico and get through Mexico and make their way to the US? Or is that Argentina? I always forget.
Yeah, but those are just the white supremacists that are coming.
Ah, yes.
Argentina, they have Malay now, so I think that they are actually on track to, while there's still, it's going to take some time for them to even with Malay doing all the Malay things, they're still in dire economic, straits. But Venezuela is looking at invading Guyana for their oil reserves.
She's so dumb. She makes you look smart. Oh, yes. Yes, it is. It is goofball crazy. Thank you, Ballstar. Ballstar's hilarious. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wait, sorry. So who's invading who for oil?
So,
Mhm.
Venezuela is claiming that Guyana found a bunch of oil reserves right off their coast. Guyana is having a sort of boom. They are going through a bunch of tourism, like people are looking at tourism. They found this great host of oil reserves. And Venezuela's like, no, that's ours. So Maduro, as all leaders who are, well, terrible at their jobs are like, it's not my fault. Those terrible people over in Guyana are stealing our resources.
Oh, horrible
So-
people. Oh, well, I've got to answer this question because you were curious, Baldo. You were curious of what this three body problem is. Well, here you go. Three body problem. How Chinese science fiction went from underground magazines to a Netflix extravaganza. So I'm not even going to try to pronounce where that is in China. For a few days in October 2023, the capital of science fiction world was, I'm thinking Chengdu or something like that, China. Fans traveled from around the world as WorldCon. It was like WorldCon, like con artist, or because I would think if it was a comic book thing, it would say WorldCom, but I guess
Convention, World Convention.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Biggest annual event was held in the country for the first time. It was a rare moment when the Chinese and international fans could get together to celebrate the arts without worrying about the increasingly fraught politics of China's relationship with the West or Beijing's tightening grip on expression. For Chinese fans like Tao Bolin, an influencer who flew from the southern province of Guangdong for the event, it felt like the world wanted to read Chinese literature. Fans and authors mingled in a brand new science fiction museum designed by the prestigious Zadhad architects in the shape of a huge steel starburst over a lake. But 3 months later, much of the goodwill turned sour as a scandal erupted over allegations that the organizers of the Hugo Awards, sci-fi's biggest prize, awarded at Worldcon disqualified candidates to placate the Chinese censors. Ooh, figure. The event
is anyone
embodied
shocked?
No. The event embodied the contradictions that Chinese science fiction has faced for decades. In 40 years, it's gone from politically suspect niche to one of China's most successful cultural exports, with author Lu Xingxing changing an international following that includes fans like Barack Obama and Mark Zuckerberg. But it had to overcome obstacles created by geopolitics for just as long. With a big budget Netflix adaptation of The Three Body Problem set to drop in March, produced by the same showrunners as Game of Thrones, Chinese sci-fi could reach its biggest audience yet. Getting there took decades of work by dedicated authors, editors, and cultural bureaucrats who believe that they are full of shit and their shit don't stink. That science fiction could bring people together. Sorry, I had to go off a little bit of the script there. Getting there took decades of work by dedicated authors. Great. Sci-fi has always been a bridge between different cultures and countries, says Yao Heng, the editor-in-chief of the science fiction world, China's oldest science fiction magazine. Every author can have their own vision of the future, and they can coexist and respect it, even if they clash. Okay. A small step for a provincial bureaucrat. Chinese sci-fi jury abroad started with another convention in Chengdu 3 decades ago, but politics nearly derailed that one. Well, it might be, the one-child policy kind of thing, or, we don't like you showing what our country really looks like, and you're going to only show pictures of this country, this part of the country, and that's it. Yeah, don't turn around and walk down that street. You walk down that street and, well, you'll be ejected from our country and more than likely spend time in prison if that picture gets out. That's some
The Chinese who understand Netflix adaptations will be culturally diverse in a way that they don't generally like.
Yeah, they might not like that.
Yeah, all the Chinese redheads will be gender and race swapped.
Well, yeah. Well, it is. Everything goes in science fiction. I think they'll just be a bunch of futas. That'll be it right there. That'll make it.
Well, the question is balls or no balls, though.
Well, it just depends on whether they need a Baldo.
You'll be right there to do the cultural sensitivity reading.
I volunteer as tribute.
There you go.
Yes.
Known, at first, I thought it said known for its pedo sanctuary. No, it says panda sanctuary. Sorry. And countercultural blend in 1991. Sorry. But his news of the brutal crackdown on student protester in Beijing's Tiananmen Square, like I said, you'd think that might have been an issue. Well, there was nothing going on. Circle the globe in 1989. Foreigner speakers were dropping out. The magazine sent a small delegation to Worldcon in 1990, hosted in the Hague, whatever, to save the conference. Its leader was Jesus. Why can't you have an American name like Shang Zhuang? Or is that Sean? Maybe that's Sean.
Yeah, his name is Sean Smith.
It's Sean Zia Wang. Man, what a name. Yes, my name is Long Duck Dong. Dung. In the English translator I want to say this wrong, but it looks like Sichuan, Providence Foreign Affairs Department, who fell in love with sci-fi as a child after reading Jules Verne's books like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. He packed instant noodles for the weeks-long train journey across China. Okay. We call them things ramens here in the United States. Ramens. Well, it depends on what part of the South you're from. Ramen's in the northern part, ramen in the southern part. And the fragmenting Soviet Union. Yeah, they were fragmenting. And here they are. There's your cultural warriors right there. In The Hague, Sean and former magazine editor Hang Zhao used toy pandas and postcards of Chengdu to make the case that the city, more than 18,000 kilometers or 1,000 miles from Beijing, was friendly and safe to visit. Haven't they done this before? Yeah, no. Come visit us. We'll be fine with you hanging out. Just don't look over there.
I mean, I remember our Olympians sleeping on cardboard.
No, you didn't see that. That never happened.
Oh yeah.
They don't eat dirt to survive. The starving people in China.
No, they just suck on rocks.
No, this is what happens. If you don't eat your meal, there's a starving kid in China that he will not get a meal because they would be grateful to have that meal. That's what I was told as a young child.
There's actually a style of dish that they coat shiny pebbles with. They cook them, and it's like a sauce that they coat the pebbles in, and you suck the pebbles and you put the pebbles back. Like you put them in a used bowl, and that's a meal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In the end, a dozen foreign authors attended the conference, but it was a small start. It was more than anyone could have imagined a few years earlier. The giant leap for the genre. Science fiction faced decades of suspicion at home. Chinese science fiction. Okay. The genre flourished in China for the first half of the 20th century, fueled by an interest in new technology and translated stories from abroad, but it disappeared during the Cultural Revolution. You think? No. Isn't that sort of what's happening here in the U.S.? Wouldn't you say we're having a cultural revolution right now?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's by everyone who thinks they're freaking Harry Potter and they're fighting Death Eaters.
Well, it seems like they more
They're
of them
not?
think that they're Hermione Granger, don't they? Hermione, get your butt out of the boys' clothes. You're not supposed to be doing that.
God.
The Maoist radicals targeted the bourgeois, elements including both scientists and many types of literature. Well, don't we see that happening here? No, it's the science. No, you got to believe that if you chop it off, you can't have any pudding. If you don't chop it off, you can't have any pudding. How you going to get your pudding if you don't chop it off? Sorry, that's so bad. Sci-fi saw a resurgence as China began opening to the world, and after the Mao era in the 70s and 80s. Authors like Zhang Wang Gung and Li Yongle wrote stories about traveling into space, while China's NASA space program launched its first satellites into orbit, which most of them crashed back to Earth. Regional magazines such as Chengdu's science fiction world mushroomed like a cloud. But in the early 1980s, Beijing initiated a nationwide spiritual pollution cleaning. Okay. Campaign to quash the influence of the decadent West in sci-fi was accused of being unscientific and out of line with official ideology. Most of the young Republicans, publications were shuttered. Sorry. Down in Chengdu, science fiction world's editors kept going. Good for them, because, you could have been beheaded. Down in Chengdu, they believed that if China wanted to develop, it needed an innovative country. It needed science fiction, said Yao, the director, and said in a recorded public address in 2017, because it took them that many years. He was an old man by then. The magazine set out to change negative public perception about sci-fi. In 97, 6 years after Chengdu's conference, it organized another international event in Beijing, headlined by American and Russian astronauts. The conference got attention in the Chinese press, giving sci-fi a cool new aura of innovation, exploration, and imagination, Yao says. It also paved the way for an international liftoff. His Big Bang. I'm sick of reading this. Look, Mom, that's your new probe. Sorry.
I haven't read The Three Body Problem, so
yeah, I don't know, but The Three Body Problem, first serialized by Science Fiction World in 2006, reached a level of popularity unseen by Chinese works when it came out as a book, and I've still never heard of it. The trilogy.
Is it anything like Two Girls in One Cup? Because I've been told not to watch that, and I still haven't.
Oh no, I think you'll enjoy that one.
No thanks, I'm good. Hard pass.
It might be more enjoyable than this one.
This age and haven't seen it, and I'll continue being this age and haven't seen it.
Well, I'll write a list of other ones you should watch then.
No, thank you.
Here's the thing. So here's the trilogy's plot. So this is ironically centers on the disastrous consequences of sending a message to a distant alien world. Okay, The Dark Forest, the second volume, is named for a view of the universe as a dog-eat-dog struggle for survival in the best way. Doesn't this sound like Ender's Game?
It sounds like every time every time a less advanced civilization calls out to a more advanced civilization, you get your ass kicked.
That's what it sounds like. I'm just trying to, see, look, that totally, I'm telling you right now, that absolutely looks like this. I'm telling you, it looks like that. Just saying, just imagine Shrek's face not being there. This is exactly what that looks like. Do I lie? Do I lie? Do I lie? Look at that. Does it not? Does it not look like that?
Oh, it's a space plug.
It is.
Why does this look like something that Spaceballs would create?
It's meant to
Spaceballs too.
It's meant to plug black holes.
It's just like, you trying to do an English accent? No, it's horrible. Well, that's what I said back here whenever I saw this. It's like, look, Mom, got your new probe.
That's what you have to take if you eat any of that gutter oil where they fish cooking oil or other things out of the sewers, allegedly.
I mean, good for China that they got a few people that are still writing sci-fi books that they might have stolen the idea from someone else. Oh,
Wait, China stole original or ideas from other places and then called them their own?
Well,
doesn't seem like something China would do.
No, they're totally not like that at all. Totally not like that at all.
Don't blame China.
But I'll bring it back to some politics here because this is enough of butt plugs. We'll go to some different butt plugs here. Wisconsin
True.
GOP leader calls the Trump supporters trying to oust him whack jobs and morons. I love it.
It's a bold move, Cotton.
Oh my God. So here's the guy right here.
Oh, he doesn't look like
Wisconsin-
Adam Schiff.
No, it says Wisconsin Republic Assembly Speaker Robin Voies derides supporters of former President Trump who are trying to recall him from the office, and he's calling whack jobs and morons, and predicted their effort would fail on Tuesday, March 19th during an event in Madison, Wisconsin. He just called, Republican supporters whack jobs and morons. So Wisconsin's top Republican derided supporters of former President Trump. He's Wisconsin's top Republican who are trying to recall him from office. Said their effort would fail and they would be subject to fraud charges. Assembly Speaker Robin Voss is being targeted for recall because he refused to impeach the state's top election official or proceed with attempting to decertify Joe Biden's victory in 2020. His actions angered Trump, who accused Voss of covering up election corruption, while Trump's followers mounted an unsuccessful primary challenge in 22 are now trying to force a recall election. Voss lashed out at recall organizers at a WisconsinPolitics.com luncheon Tuesday, saying organizers are out of touch with reality. The people who did this, whack jobs, morons. Recall organizers did not return message seeking comment, probably because they sent the message at 1 o'clock in the morning whenever they wrote this. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to grab some more coffee real quick because I need lubricant for my voice. They submitted petitions last week in initial review. It'll be just a second. Review the Wisconsin Elections Commission determined they did not have enough valid signatures from the district. Voss was most recently elected to serve in 22. Also, numerous people have said that their signatures were forged, leading to an investigation by the Racine County District Attorney. Recall organizers on Monday said that some unverified petitions slipped due to a volunteer oversight, but they called it an isolated mistake. Well, that's what you would call it. Voss said he has found a ton of fraud, including up to 400 duplicated signatures, missing and misspelled information, the names of people who didn't actually sign, including his own. He predicted fewer than half of the nearly 11,000 signatures submitted to be valid. Voss said he hoped the Elections Commission would refer to local prosecutors anyone determined to have committed a crime related to the petition circulation. So there was fraud. But he's saying there wasn't. Oh, it's just the isolated instance. I mean, is it isolated or was there? I don't understand. The story makes no sense to me. The court should not be pretend to be poised to issue a decision in a non-existent case presenting a hypothetical question. What? I'm sorry. They blame the confusion over district boundaries on the liberal court majority that overturned the legislative maps and ordered new ones. I don't know. I'm so confused by that story. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. This story you sent me, are you wanting me to go over it?
I wasn't going to cover it. I figured if you wanted to cover it, it's just the latest thing I'd seen out of this, and I thought
I may do that.
it was a little too spicy for me, but
Well,
the
I'm
eye
not that.
rolling I felt might have taken the earth off of slightly off of its axis. So I am sorry if anyone gets unseasonable weather today.
Well, I will make them feel better about it, and we will poke fun at the story as soon as I get back. I do need to grab some coffee and lubricate the vocal cords. We'll be right back.
Alrighty. So Baldo, what are you doing this weekend? Any fun?
Saturday night I'll be on stream with Thermo on the pre-stream discussing the latest news and events for the past week. We get way more spicy than Shizzy does, so
Woohoo.
oh yeah. I think Thermo's at the point where he doesn't care. about his YouTube channel or his Twitch channel, or he's just like, you know what? If they kill it, then I get my Saturdays back.
Oh, so he's gonna start
So-
body painting? I don't know that I've ever met him, but like I said, I don't get out much.
Fair enough. No, I don't think he'll start body painting, but he doesn't. He's not too fussed as
Self-censor?
to what we say. So
Ah,
yeah,
we'll have to sub to him. Oh, I've seen his little, his cute little guy, but I haven't. I go down in. I get on little like trends. So lately it's been dreading. I'll just like replay all of dreading stuff because he's got a mellow voice and I can, rage clean.
sounds good.
Oh my gosh. Why is that showing me this? Share this tab instead. Here we go. So here is the story. Why are all these commercials? Jeez Louise, I don't care. Stop. What the hell is up with all these ads? Good
That's
Lord
why I
almighty.
use Brave. I don't even know how Brave does it. I think it's magic.
The only thing is sometimes it just can be a real pain in the Here's-
Mo, I'm a computer technician, and yes, it's magic.
yeah. The only thing is
100%.
it's not magic.
It's
using it
great.
for
Brave's
for this.
brilliant.
Yeah, I actually do have a Brave browser, just not on this computer. I don't have time for it. I do have it on my other computer. I usually use it, but not here. On this one, because this computer's it's weird. The family of the Missouri girl who has been charged with beating a 16-year-old
It's
Kaylee
not
Gain
pulled
into
up.
unconsciousness. Oh, I'm sorry. That right there. Who has been charged with beating 16-year-old Kaylee Gain into unconsciousness, says she's the real victim, has been harassed and bullied before the caught-on-video assault.
Oh, she's the victim. Oh, because it was her who got her head slammed into the concrete. Gotcha. That's right.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
How's Kaylee doing? She's still in a coma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A 15-year-old
But she-
Aunt Daily Meal said that her niece, described as an honor student with a stellar record at Hazelwood East High School, was defending herself during that March 8th fight in Spanish Lakes, Missouri. Really?
Defending
As-
herself.
Up until a certain point, it could be defense, but the moment she started slamming the head, that's
Multiple
when it
times.
stopped being not even the first time. Like she was already on the ground in a submissive
Yeah.
position when she started going at it with the head slams. So
Yeah.
that was yeah.
I'm pretty sure, and I'm not a lawyerologist or a self-defense person, but I'm pretty sure Bronca doesn't say, like, when they're on the ground, you can double tap them and yell self-defense.
I think we counted 7. Not
Yeah.
not just 2.
Well,
but that's
yeah, I had to stop watching because
it was rough.
Yeah, it was brutal. And I wouldn't show it on my thing. I saw that and I was just like, what in the hell just happened? Because what I saw was the girl walking away.
Oh yeah.
The only part that that they're showing is this part where she was attacked. What I saw was Kaylee walking away. This girl grab her and start knocking the ever living piss out of her, slamming her to the ground, and then proceeding to slam her head into the ground multiple times. That's what I remember seeing. Now I could be wrong because stuff like this pops up on my feed all the time, but she was walking away from the situation whenever this girl grabbed her.
Okay, I don't remember seeing that, but we may have got a cut version.
Yeah, they may
Well,
have cut it out.
Yeah. And either way, it looked like in the video I saw they squared up to each other in one of the videos I saw. So it looked like they both engaged in, mutual, like we're gonna fight each other. But then as soon as one gets on the ground and in a submissive, you don't slam. That is how.
And I'll have to see if I can if I can find the whole thing and I can look at it again, but I could swear that what I saw was her walking away from the what was her name again? Kaylee. I'm sorry. Kaylee, what's her last name?
Gain.
Kaylee. I'm spelling it wrong. Like and where I saw it was on the Twitter.
Well, they've probably scrubbed that by now.
No, I would have saved it. Let me see. There it is. And I remember seeing it because I was like, what in the hell is going on with our country? Let me see. Search. Because I will see. Yep, they completely have they show. I know who actually did the whole thing. Who showed the whole video, but she was walking away whenever this girl just grabbed her up.
And if your daughter is
Yeah,
and look, I get that girls' fashions are different, but if your daughter or your niece is a honor student and everything, why the heck is she wearing a booty skirt and a crop top and everything else to school? I'm gonna need you to explain why that 15-year-old is dressed like she is about to go
Clubbing.
prostituting.
Yeah, there it is. I'm watching because, yeah, at that point she should have stopped.
Yeah.
Someone should have stepped in.
Well, if it's the one I remember, someone did step in
Yeah.
a little sooner,
Hold
but
on.
then everyone else jumped in.
Okay, you're right. They do square off. And they go at each other. She slams her down to the ground. Hits her several times.
He can't share it.
No, I'm not sharing
YouTube will
it.
definitely yeet his
Yes.
feed if he shares it.
I'm saying that they do square off. They both go at each other. She starts hitting her. Someone comes up behind and starts slapping the girl that's doing the assaulting. Another person steps up, and then another person steps up, and the person trying to get her off Kaylee, there's 3 people that jump that person and push them off of her. At that point, she still hits her several times. She's hitting her in the head and hitting her in the arms. She's already putting her arms up in defense of herself. Then she climbs on top of her in a starfish position as she proceeds to hit her 1, 2, 3, 4 before the camera pans away. And there's about 5 or 6 people standing around watching it happen. At what point these people that are standing around don't become accessories? That nobody stepped in. And the people that did step in, they stepped in to stop the person from pulling her off of the other person that was clearly down on the ground. At what point do these other ones get charged?
The point where the DA grows a set of testicles.
Yeah, but
Well,
yet
and the aunt's like,
these will be the same people that go after parents because their son decided to go and do some deleting of other people. They'll charge the parents with it. Okay. Every single one of these kids are standing right there. They have the option to make it stop. They don't.
Yeah. So negligence. You didn't teach your children that brain injuries are deadly.
It's
and they want compassion and to have her stay in the juvenile court system.
They're seeking $150,000 in donations towards her legal defense.
GoFundMe shut down. GoFundMe did shut down the fundraiser. So
as they should have.
Well, you'd
Well,
think.
everyone deserves a legal defense.
Yes. And one will be provided for you if you can't afford one for yourself.
Yes.
Just saying, one will be provided for you. However, the kids were filming the beatdown, at least 4. And that doesn't include the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 15 kids that were continuing fighting while this girl was, going into seizures. The petition highlighted the girl's many academic and athletic competitions. It doesn't matter. At that point, it doesn't matter how many you have. I'm sure that Jeffrey Dahmer was athletic also, including the fact that she speaks 4 languages, plays violin in the school orchestra and volleyball in the school's team, and has recently been selected for college-level AP classes. And if she did this, just imagine her doing something like this in college because she couldn't contain herself. And I'm not saying that this girl, maybe these two shouldn't have been fighting in the first place, that she's completely innocent of it. But at some point, you say, she's down, you stop. Doesn't matter anything about her. Prior to the incident on March 8th, she was seen defending herself from harassment and bullying. She had never been in trouble. Harassment and bullying? Like, who was harassing her? Who was bullying her?
Mm-hmm.
The family complained that the single event is being used to define the teen's character. And, well, whenever you slam someone's head into the ground multiple times, that's a defining moment. Doesn't matter all the accomplishments up to that point.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I tell my kids this all the time. You can be the greatest person in the world, especially now that they're learning to drive a car. But you do something stupid in a car, you do something that means that someone else isn't coming home. That is what people will remember, not the 84, percent of your life where you did something great. No, that one bad thing will be the biggest thing because you have deprived someone else of someone at home. And the longer you stay in a coma with brain damage, I mean, she is likely not going to be coming out of this coma. I mean, they are giving the parents hope right now, and
Yes.
that's not a bad thing.
And they're also
But
giving this teenager that assaulted her hope, because if she passes, it's a whole different charge.
It goes from assault to murder.
Yes.
yes,
And that's that girl. She's going to be playing violin in prison is what's going to happen. And if she's not, that means you've got a very sympathetic jury that has no problem with violence coming out of kids.
well, it happened with the boy who got. Now, look, the boy with the airsoft rifle, who they alleged that, they basically caved his chest in. I think that
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
They got him off with what? Assault and battery, I think. I mean, at some point, we're gonna have to have some really, really, difficult conversations, or there's gonna be a very big reckoning, and people aren't gonna like it.
Mm. And of course, she's only going to be charged as an adult if Gain does not survive. Until then, she'll be just charged with assault. All I can say is, girl, you better just hope and pray that Gain survives. Even if she's a vegetable, you better hope that she survives. I mean, it's rough. Sorry. It is unjust that such an accomplished young woman. No, it is unjust that there was an attack, that she assaulted someone. And you will learn at some point in time, if you haven't learned it by the time that you're 15, there is consequences for your actions. If your parents haven't taught you this by the age of 10, then you've got some serious issues that you're going to run into. If you haven't understood that that there are consequences to everything. The family asks that all aspects of the teenager's life be considered. No, absolutely not. That's not how it works. I mean, that's just like saying, hey, John Wayne Gacy, this couple of little acts that he committed. What about all the things he did for his community? I mean, he was a clown. He would go around and spread happiness and joy to all these people. Let's consider all of the totality, not this one or a couple of little incidences. No, you're defined by your worst possible things that you do in that
and
moment.
how you take responsibility and accountability and atonement for them. I would have much more respect if family members came out and said, we saw the footage and we were just as horrified. We saw that they squared up and we thought this was a kid's fight, and then we saw our daughter do this and we were just as horrified, and we have reached or I mean, just and again, this is out of Missouri. She's in
Mhm.
honor roll. I'm gonna need her to show that she can actually read at grade level, because honor roll in Missouri means that she can maybe read at a 3rd grade level.
Yeah, at 15. Most importantly, her victimhood as a bullied student who has merely defended herself under intense fight versus flight circumstances. Yeah, that's not how it happens. In the wake
Well,
of the fight, the
if she was being bullied, then there wouldn't be 3 other people taking the person who tried to stop her from hitting the white chick off her. That's
Right.
that's not someone being bullied. That's someone doing the bullying.
Yes. Hood surrounds any redeeming areas. Yeah. Was Baltimore the same as? Wait, is Baltimore City the same as Baltimore? No, this is Missouri. I'm pretty positive of Baltimore City, Missouri. Maybe. In the wake of the flight, the juvenile suspect's family is said to have received multiple racist death threats. Any kind of threats, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doxing. You shouldn't be releasing personal information about her. None of that should be happening. Like you should
No.
leave this family alone and let the law deal with these people as the way that the law should. It sounds unjust, it sounds unfair, but this vigilante bullshit that people pull, no, this is bad. Don't do that. The focus should be to pray for the healing reconciliation of both parties, yes. As this is truly a teenage fight that should have never happened to begin with, absolutely, but did and spun completely out of control, yes. And I guarantee you that justice will come one way or the other. And it is not for anybody to promote, doing that, any sort of justice. As of Thursday, more than 500 supporters have signed the online petition. Family has previously started a GoFundMe campaign with the girls' legal bills, but it was swiftly removed from the platform for violating terms of service after raising close to $3,000. The funds have since been returned to the donors. The now defunct fundraiser claimed the teen was unfairly portrayed as a bully rather than as a victim in a complicated situation. Doesn't matter. You shouldn't be doing this. The family of the girl charged seeks a fundraiser. The sickening video of the brawl showed Gain being repeatedly punched and having her head smashed into the pavement, leaving her with life-threatening skull fracture, according to her family. Nearly 2 weeks after the beating, Gain has yet to regain consciousness after suffering brain swelling and bleeding. The full scope and extent of Kaylee's injuries and prognosis for recovery cannot be determined until, with God's grace, she regains consciousness, and the family asks that you continue to keep Kaylee in your thoughts and prayers as she continues to recover. So, yeah, there's a reason why Mo didn't want to cover this, and it's completely understandable.
Well, I
So
still go back to your, honor student is going to school in a mini skirt that if she moves at all, her booty's showing. And look, I understand fashion is different. I have teen girls myself. So the rule is if you want to wear a crop top, you have to wear a shirt over it. I know I'm the worst mom ever. And that skirt would not make it anywhere out of my house, at least while I'm not at knowledge of it. So if it's stuffed in a backpack, as long as I don't know about it, it is what it
Well,
is.
and I would criticize both these parents for not being able to teach their young daughters to behave like young ladies.
Yes.
I mean, say what you will on either side of it. I will say teaching your daughters to act like young ladies is very important. And also teaching them self-defense skills that don't involve like, beating someone's face or any other part of their body, but putting them into restraining them would have probably been more sufficient. And I'm not saying you have to take your kids to Taekwondo or anything like that, but teaching them how to protect themselves from issues like this could have helped out quite a bit. It looked to me like there's a gang of kids that get together. There's going to be a fight in the back of the schoolyard. It's not like whenever I was a kid, there would be a fight out back behind the bleachers, and you would yell at each other and smack each other, and your little fists of fury would be going haywire, and one person would get knocked down. They would surrender. They would say, all right, I'm done messing with you, or you're done messing with me. And then you shake hands, you walk away, and you go, I hate you too. And then next day you're sitting down having chocolate milk with each other at lunch.
And the worst injury you come away with is a cut lip.
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't become everyone jump on the person who's losing and smack them or, jump on their head.
Yeah. Yeah. That didn't happen. It was a fight between these two. If anybody else jumped in, you have other kids pull him away. It's like he's losing, but he's losing gracefully. We'll step in if it goes too far. And people would step in if it did start to go too far.
Going to Mo's point about the uniform or the dress of the kids. My sister went to a high school, and in Australia we separate primary school and high school from kindergarten to year 6 and year 7 to year 12. So that's how it's separated. So she went to high school, and their policy was, if you could keep your knees straight and touch your toes in front of your parents and they were okay with that, you're okay wearing that skirt. That was their policy.
And that is totally okay. Look, I don't want to stifle my daughter's creativity, but I also don't want to see all of the things that God and my genetics gave them.
You muted, Chizzy.
Check this out.
Oh, dude. Hunter, what's going on right now? Getting shot at by single shot Freddy. Who's that? I have a feeling he's a blind Afghan man somewhere between the ages of 60 and 75 years old. And he likes to scare the shit out of us with these single shots that he takes. We've been getting real close, so we're all hiding right now. How come you think he's blind? Well, because he hasn't hit anything yet.
I keep waiting for him to get shot now that he's saying all that.
I know. I did too. I was like, is he?
I was like, oh God, is this Saving Private Ryan where he takes off the helmet? Like, let me look at your helmet. It's great. And it's like, you don't need your helmet anymore.
Oh,
there's that gray matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yes. It's not about creativity. It's about self-respect.
Yeah.
And
it was always.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, and every family has their own modesty standards because, nothing's more great than, having a parent call. Your daughter informed my daughter that her outfit was not appropriate because, you're not supposed to wear skirts shorter than this. And so I had to pull my daughter aside. I was like, come here, sweet child. Every family is going to have their own modesty standards. And what's good for one family, is fine. I only worry about you because you're my kids. As soon as I start claiming other kids on my taxes, I'll worry about them. But we're not starting mom drama because I don't want to get another phone call from that mother because I'm pretty sure I smelled the box wine fumes from over here. So I'm going to need you to keep your mouth shut.
Now, before you leave, here's a burger.
Hey,
That's what I was going to say too.
to be fair,
Waldo went
to be
there.
fa-
Yes.
to be fair, the last time I went dress shopping, which might be why I'm not allowed to go dress shopping with my girls
Both background
anymore.
lights on.
So I went to the dress shop, and if it had a front that covered the boobular region, it had a slit up to like above the waist. So the lady come up and she was all of, I think, 21 years old. So I was like, she's like, how can I help you today? And I was like, could I find a full dress? And I was like, do you have an Amish and or Islamic section anywhere in here?
Yes. That's what you're
And
looking
she's
for,
like,
right?
I don't understand. I was like, do you have a 15-year-old section? Like something where my daughter's not going to get propositioned with ones. And my girls just disappeared behind me. I don't know where they went in the store. Now the other moms around me were laughing their boobs off, but my daughters were not amused.
Well, when it happens with their daughters in 20, 30 years' time, you can laugh at them.
Well, Captain Kern hits this right. It's also a father's worst nightmare by mistakenly doing laundry and asking the wifey when she got those sexy, skimpy undies. And the wife says, those are your daughters.
Yep. No.
Yeah. You would be
What
a
is
little
the
bit, that would scar
scariest?
you. That was,
What
you
is the
just like,
scariest
what?
is when you have a 17-year-old who has the good grace to most of the year wear giant hoodies, so you would never know that she is a unicorn that's like almost 6 foot tall, like long legs, and has these testicles that she keeps hidden for the entire year. And then all of a sudden summer comes and I'm like, where the hell did you get those? You are wearing a t-shirt over that swimsuit.
Like, no.
She's like, why? And I'm like, because you're 16 and I don't
Because
have
boys exist. That's why.
Yes.
because people exist. And oh my
Yes.
God, you've been hiding those all year. Where did those come from? Seriously, honest to God, where did they come from?
You're JD Book, that JK, that is awesome. Your kid wore a black suit to the award
Ooh.
ceremony, rocking the John Wick look. That's awesome.
Awesome.
And Eris says it's every parent's job and right to embarrass their kids. Absolutely. Well, was that a long time ago? My daughter wanted a bikini, so I let her try them on, but mentioned to her that the more she shows, the more guys will think she is a hoe. She didn't get one. Yeah. And that's sometimes you give them that shame of just like, you realize that whenever, there's nothing wrong with having a beautiful body. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But think about this, for all you young girls out there that think it's awesome, and you want to show off the new chesticles and you want to show off the great little body that you have. Just imagine Ron Jeremy coming up and saying, hey, why don't you come over here and we'll talk for a while? Just sort of picture this greasy old man coming up to you and hitting on you, because that's basically what you're going to get.
Is that like some kind of personal attack or something?
Oh, no.
Still, so what I have decided is that God needs to give the teenage bodies to us older married women and give the cellulite and stretch marks to young teenage girls, because
Yes.
listen, we're old and married, and I will probably use I'll use my young body for badness too, but I mean, I'm old
Yes.
and married and no one's, who am I going to
Yeah.
bother? Mr. Mo? I mean, look, I already
Yeah.
bother him anyway. But cellulite and stretch marks will help build character in young teen girls. That's all I got to say.
Well, Well, I agree. No, I'm just saying that
Oh yeah.
you know, it really will help if young girls can understand this, because just think of that you factor. That's all you have to do is just like, that's what's going to be hitting on you, because the guys that see you like that are not the they're going to be the good looking one, the buff one that you're trying to impress. He's going to go, yeah, okay. I mean, it's good to look at, but I mean, how many guys has she been with? And you could be a complete virgin. It's that perception that guy gets. He's just like, yeah. I mean, do I want the easy, or do I want the one that surprises me?
Well, and we're punishing young boys. I mean, young boys. This girl is walking by in a Band-Aid and some dental floss, but don't you dare notice her, because that's the male gaze.
Yeah. No, you definitely should notice. And I would tell any guy, yeah, notice, but also, keep in your mind, Courtney Clenny.
It's just the utter hypocrisy of these chicks going to the gym in what can only be loosely termed shorts and a top, and then like, all the guys were looking at me. I was just doing bent over rows, and I have no idea why. Every
Yeah.
time it's always the same thing. I'm like, because your lady bits are about to make more of a show than mine do in stirrups at the OBGYN. You're doing good girl, bad girl on the adductor thing. I don't know
Exactly.
why they're there, ma'am. It's a mystery. We're calling the Hardy Boys.
I mean, you'll understand that guys enjoy seeing beautiful women. There's never going to be any denying of that. But also, whenever they see beautiful women, they go one of two ways. Either they get like all blubbery and like act complete fools and wander off in a blubbering mess, or they become very aggressive, which is what you don't want to have. You're better off having the ones that go, I think I got to go walk the dog or something, or I'm going to go take a cold shower because it's the ones that are just like, hey, baby, how's it going? You want to wrestle? I got some mud over here and some jello, and my wife likes to watch. Those are the ones you got to look out for.
Can I tell you one, you guys, my favorite ones? It's the body positivity ladies that are like, I can't go anywhere without being catcalled. I'm like, photos or it didn't happen, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need photographic evidence of this.
And then their
There's-
photographic evidence is them walking around New York for 8 hours, and it's a 30-second clip in the skimpiest video ever, the skimpiest clothes ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, BuzzFeed, what are we gonna do without you?
Oh my God. Oh, look at that. I told my daughter no guy would ever see her if she displayed the Great Smoky Mountain Ravine. They have no idea of the color of her eyes. Yeah, that's very true. I wouldn't go that far, Farrell. No, like I said, it's great. It's great to show those kinds of assets. Guys appreciate it, in the greatest way. It's just know that what you're going to be attracting.
You can be sexy and classy at the same time. It's not mutually exclusive. You don't have to you don't have to show all the bits and pieces to
Plus-
leave a
be
little bit. Yes, leave a little bit to the imagination.
Plus, sexy and classy don't really work with a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
well,
So-
no.
Get
No.
a dress that here's the burqa.
Yeah, believe me,
Yeah.
look. I'm seeing that there are some points to the bin bag.
Well, only till she's 25, and then she can take it off.
Leave anything to the imagination. Yeah, see, you guys know. Always leave something to the imagination. That's the allure of beauty. But 17-year-old girls, no, I'm with you, Baldo. Put on a burqa.
Yes.
It's like the last thing I want to be doing is sitting at a beach. Good thing that I'm old and everything under like 40 looks young. So I don't even bother looking.
Well, nowadays you can't tell. It's like, is she 22 or 16? You know what?
Well, see,
I'm
that's
not
the
even
thing.
going to go
I
there.
just play it safe. If they look like they're 22, I don't even. I'm just like, nope. Hey, wife, come over here and just dance for me. That's all I ask. Just, I'm just saying, you know, at that point, you're just like, yeah, you look like trouble. You know, anything, you know, under 40, I'm just like, okay, well, have fun. It's like, I'm sure you're a great person. You're great to look at, but let's have a conversation instead. We'll talk about something else. Because let's put it this way: under 40, you're probably old enough to be my daughter if I had kids.
Lefty, a pasty is not a food.
No, it is not a pastry. Big difference.
It's a Band-Aid that goes out over your nippular region.
Here, let's give you a perfect example of
without
what a pasty
tassels
looks like.
for the most part.
It looks
Well,
a lot like
tassels
this.
are fun.
It looks a lot
Yeah.
like this. And just to keep it PG, that's sort of what it looks like right there. That's a pasty.
Emojis doing God's work.
See, there you go. 66. See, look at this. Starzy says, at 66 and a female, I appreciate a nice male bod, but whatever. Hate the display of everything at my age. Imagination makes you smile. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the same way here, and I'm not near 66 yet. I'm closer to 66 than I am 16. Let's put it that way. Of course, I still act like a 16-year-old, which I'm not. I mean, most guys do. As we get older, we act younger. By the time we're 90, we're like pooping in diapers. Go figure.
Well, if I ever get to that point, just get a Tempur-Pedic pillow and take me out.
Oh my God. I cannot. I have to show something that, and once I started, it took me a little bit to read it because I'm not sure if this was written by the Babylon Bee or not. I know that it was done by the AP, but I swear to God, this has to be done by the Babylon Bee. Give me a second. An executive director of Little Rock's airport, okay, talking about Little Rock, Arkansas, who was injured earlier this week in a shootout with federal agents serving a search warrant at his home, died on Thursday. The name of the airport is Bill and Hillary Clinton National Airport.
This is the one Eris about died on because I said, look, Eris, that's the second story in my lineup. I'm sorry.
The
They
Bureau
still
of
don't say
Alcohol.
what he was doing.
That's what I'm wondering too. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives said agents were trying to serve the warrant just after 6 a.m. Tuesday at Malowinski's home in West Little Rock when someone inside fired gunshots at the agents. The news outlets reported the agents returned fire, striking the shooter, who is identified as Malowinski. An identified ATF agent was also shot, but the wound was not life-threatening, officials say. In a heavily redacted warrant affidavit released Thursday, the ATF said Malowinski bought over 150 guns between May 21st and February 24th that he resold without a dealer's license. Yeah, that might be a problem.
Oh,
Not shall not be infringed.
No, well, here's where it becomes here's where it becomes a problem. And I agree with you, it shall not be infringed, but there are certain rules and guidelines, and law-abiding citizens will always follow those rules and guidelines, whereas somebody that does illegal stuff tends to do illegal things. I don't think there's anything wrong with purchasing 150 guns and selling those between 21 and 24. So that's 21, 22, 23, 24. So in 3 years, he's bought 150 guns, just say 50 guns a year, and he's resold them. Did he do them in a certain period of time, or was it just over a long period of time? Was he, and this is where they talk about straw purchases that can become so dangerous because I can purchase any firearm. For example, I can go anywhere, purchase a firearm, and it becomes a problem because you do have private individuals that sell it to other private individuals. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's rules on the books where if you sell it to somebody and they misuse it, you become liable for whatever they use that thing for. Okay. Not saying that it should be illegal. I'm just saying that it is illegal, and they want to make sure that you're not just purchasing guns and selling it to, for example, a minor, or selling it to somebody that might be dealing. And especially if that weapon is traced, it becomes a really big problem for you. Still, he shouldn't have returned fire on these agents, officers, whatever. Which makes me suspect that he was probably doing something illegal, and he was about to get taken down for it.
Why is the warrant affidavit heavily redacted?
That makes me curious too. Why was it redacted? No, there's lots of questions that surround this, and especially because it happened in Bill and Hillary Clinton's airport, makes me even more suspicious about it. It's just like,
it really does. I mean,
he had evidence on his hard drive.
I'm not saying he was arc-incited, but I'm not saying he wasn't.
What are you talking about? Self-delete with 2 in the back of the head.
Oh, and see, here's also another thing that becomes another issue. About half a dozen of those were found after being linked to a crime, and undercover federal agents bought 3 more from Malinsky at Arkansas gun shows. So he was at gun shows selling firearms. Now this becomes a serious problem.
Yeah, that's only because there are laws involved.
Yes.
Well, because he's not an FLA, right?
Right. They trust me, the government wants to know where all weapons are, and if they don't, then it becomes a problem.
But
whether you like it or not, those are the rules. And if you don't like the rules, have the rules changed. But I'm telling you, yeah, FFL. Malinsky bought the guns through legal means, checked a box on the purchase to say they were for himself. He would then resell them as little as 24 hours through gun shows where he maintained a table, or through private sales. Well, and see, this makes me even more suspicious because that doesn't sound like anybody.
Don't you need to be an FFL to have a table at gun shows?
I would, well, maybe not. Maybe you can sell knives or T-shirts.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he set up a table for. But to sell, you would have to have one. But maybe he was selling them out of the back of his car. See, this is whenever
people would show up and he'd be like, "Hey, come meet me in an hour when I'm on lunch."
Which makes me suspicious of was he working for somebody else doing this? Because any respectable gun owner is going to go, yeah, that's not how you react. That's not how you do things ever. Like your Second Amendment, is your Second Amendment, and somebody is going to completely agree with that. But this is a guy that's doing shit illegally. Like
but only because lawmakers have ignored the Second Amendment.
Yeah, no. The
Well,
law,
but you don't.
Law-abiding citizens don't break the law. Just saying.
Yes, but the people who made the law have ignored the Second Amendment, making a law that breaks the Second Amendment.
But what my point is what if he is like a Ray Epps?
Yes.
Yeah. What if he is that kind of person? What if he's a plant in the first place?
Then why would they have plugged it?
Then why would they highly redact his arrest warrant?
Well, yeah,
Well,
like
that's why all
there's
his dogs are still alive.
problems everywhere in this. Like,
Yes.
I've got a problem with the redacted arrest warrant, with why they even showed up, like, and even the illegal stuff of selling the.
Why would they show up at his place of work?
Did they say it was at the airport, or that it
Yeah.
was the airport
Yeah.
manager?
No, he was the airport manager at the airport.
I thought they showed up to his house.
No. Executive Little Rock Airport was injured earlier this week. A shootout with federal agents serving a warrant at his home. Okay,
Yeah.
so that was at his home.
So, but the fact that he worked for the Clintons
At the airport.
Stood
still.
accused of making private sales to a person who may not be. There was no immediate response to a phone message seeking comment. Walensky joined the management team at Clinton National in 2008 as director of the property's planning development before being promoted to deputy director of the airport a year later. He took over as executive director in 2019. Bill Walker, chair of the Little Rock Municipal Airport Commission, said under Walensky's leadership, the airport saw significant growth and success. It offered condolences. Brian was a 16-year employee at the airport. Under his leadership, our airport is very, that has nothing to do with that last moment whenever he was pulling triggers on federal agents. Like I said, this story stinks all to high heaven, especially whenever you have this group right there involved in it. Like I said, something doesn't smell good in Stinkville. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something doesn't seem right. Especially with a highly redacted thing. That seems completely screwy to me. I'm always suspicious. I'm always suspicious of things like that. Whenever I saw this story, I was like, oh my God, I've got to read this for you guys.
I know. It was just like, what in the actual hell is going on in Arkansas?
Well, there's things like that are happening all over the place, because you also have this one out of Vermont. Vermont owner of a now defunct firearms training center is arrested. He's been in a legal battle with the town and was ordered to be arrested. Was taken into custody after a struggle on Wednesday, state police announced. Near the state's border in New York State, Palmlet town constable encountered Daniel Bayanai on an intersection on Wednesday afternoon. Police said a struggle took place. The constable was able to subdue Bayanai and take him into custody, police said. The Vermont Environmental Court? Okay. What
Environmental Court.
I've never heard this
of
term
all this.
before.
Which one?
Hell no.
What in the hell is it?
Environmental Court.
I gotta search this, because this makes no sense. I've never heard this before. I'm going to look up this term because I've never heard. A Vermont Environmental Court is a statewide court that handles environmental law cases, including appeals. And I joke not. This is what makes no sense to me. It says of the Vermont Environmental Court is a statewide court that handles environmental law cases, including appeals and enforcement actions. It's a division of the Vermont Superior Court, 5 divisions, which also include civil, criminal, family, and probate. The court has statewide jurisdiction and hears cases regarding land use.
Okay, so a bunch of crunchy granola people got upset that he was going to have let me guess, he was going to have a shooting range, and they were like, but it hurts
No, this is why he was in an environmental court, because he failed to remove all unpermitted structures on his property.
Yeah, so the firing range.
Every law is enforced by a force multiplier.
Yes.
Every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes you wonder, with all these peaceniks, they want a fascist government to be the only one to have force multipliers?
Because they don't think. They don't think. That's why they think this.
Yes. The Paulette property, known as Slate Ridge, included multiple buildings and 2 firing ranges on a land about the size of 30 football fields or 12 hectares. After complaints from neighbors, the town attempted for several years to get him to remove the structures. They just didn't like him out there going pew, 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 pew. 3 years ago, the EPA, or the Environmental Court, ordered Benai to end any firearms training at the center and remove unpermitted structures at the Vermont Supreme Court rejected Benai's appeal. Well, then you have to remove them. I mean, it sucks, but,
Get a lawyer.
yeah, get a good lawyer. In February 23, a judge issued a scathing order that Benai was in contempt of court for deliberating and flouting a series of court orders. Okay, so here's the thing. If it is in a court case, if you've got a case, there is a way that, and he must have had a shitty attorney, because, for example, if a court case goes to appeal, it stays any sort of orders that are out there. You can't be in the middle of like an appeal and have a court order that tells you to do one thing, because the appeal stays that. It stops any action. Like if somebody's trying to, it's the same way with what's going on with Trump. And they're just like, oh, he hasn't paid this $400 billion to the state of New York or whatever. He doesn't have to, because he's in an appeals. In appeals, he doesn't have to pay shit to anybody. Same way with, Miss, Stankhole that likes to paint trees, whatever her name is, Jean Carroll or whatever. He doesn't have to pay her shit because it's going through an appeals process. And it remains stayed until that's done. So and him getting contempt of court charges against him, it's just like, you can't do that shit. Ah, jeez. For deliberating, flouting a series of court orders issued since the start of the case. At the time, he faced jail and fines that could exceed $100,000 if he failed to comply by June 23rd. Doesn't matter. The judge in July ordered Benai arrested until he proves that parts of the facility have been removed or demolished. The warrant then expires after 60 days without an arrest. There you go. So now you.
Oh, so just evade the law by 60 days and you're good.
So then in December, he issued an arrest warrant again, and Benai had until December 22nd to turn himself in. Benai's attorney did not immediately return phone calls seeking comment on Wednesday. In response to the Slate Ridge, a bill was passed in the legislature making it a crime to own or operate paramilitary training camps in the state. Yeah. Seems to me that you got the legislature and a lot of locals that were pushing this thing to happen. That's what it appears to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is
shall
some shady shit.
Not be infringed.
Yeah. Well,
No, he's not being infringed. It's his property rights have been infringed upon.
yeah.
To
And
use
you
his
have a
property
court,
as he wants to use his property as he wants to, how he wants to. They've said, nope, you can't do that. We'll even make a law where we're not allowing you to do that. They'll call it paramilitary training. Do you think something smells fishy there? That they've turned Vermont into basically, nope, you can't do that. You can't train here. You can't fire anything here. I know you're out in the middle of nowhere, but we've made it illegal. If there's more than one person out there firing weapons, yep, it's illegal. Now it's paramilitary training. I think government's getting a little scared of what the people are up to.
Mhm.
That people are not tolerating it, so they're whittling away at the edges right now. That's what they're doing. A little here, a little there, a little tweak, a little twist, a little turn, until all of a sudden one day you wake up, you're in your city, you're living in a pod, and if you fight back, bad boy, you're in prison. You've broken all the laws.
Or they'll
Bad
just
girl.
liquefy you.
Yeah. Turn you
Well,
into
and
a mush.
they want so desperately for someone to do something stupid. So they keep ratcheting up because they're hoping that someone will do. I mean, the greatest gift they were ever given was January 6th.
Yes.
And now enough has come out where people are starting to question, like, hey, if all of these are misdemeanors and you still have people in, confinement.
Confinement
mean, and-
without any sort of trial.
Without any
After-
trial.
After what, 4 years? They're still sitting there in confinement?
I mean, are we done yet? I mean, we seem to have, a bunch of people invading and such, and we seem to have, human trafficking out the yin yang, but maybe we have other focuses that we need to worry about.
Well, and you saw that they the Supreme Court overturned the administration that wanted to shut down Texas for arresting people that were trafficking.
Oh yeah.
And you notice how that one just disappeared from the news stories. Like nobody's talking about it. What was it? Section 6, I think is what it was that they wrote in. It was just like, if you're transporting people across a border or holding them somewhere where they're waiting for whatever, if you're a sanctuary city, that you will be arrested, and it is a 5-year prison sentence and $10,000 per. We're not talking about, we catch you with 100 illegals and it's only 5 years and $10,000 fine. No, they've made it where it is per person. You got 10 people there. That's $10,000 per person, and 5 years per person that they will put you in prison.
Cumulative.
Yes.
Nice.
It is. And they said, we're not playing with this crap anymore. You want to be a sanctuary city? Yeah, that went to the Supreme Court.
They can do that, or they can't do that?
They can.
So the people who were fighting Texas, the Supreme Court said, they can do that. Go away.
Yep. And they kept saying, oh no, this is they're going after illegals. It's like the only thing that they have is, we want you to stop trafficking illegals, and we're going to do everything we can to stop that. It had nothing to do. The only reason illegal was mentioned is because that is what they were trying to stop, is them basically being trafficked across borders. I read the whole damn thing on one of my streams. I was like, this is what they're talking about, and this is what it is. And I don't see anything in here where they're talking about deporting illegals or any crap like that. They say nothing of the sort. What they say is anybody that's housing people like this, and that means transporting them or any crap like that.
So this law is going after the people facilitating the illegals, not the illegals themselves.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you hear the mainstream news, is what they kept saying was, oh no, they're targeting illegals. Absolutely not. They're targeting the coyotes, or whatever you want to call them.
Sorry, Mo.
Go ahead.
I couldn't watch any more mainstream media because I kept getting twitching in my eye every time I heard bloodbath, and then Jen Psaki telling me context means it was worser than we ever thought.
Yeah. Well, and you notice they did change the if you do a Google search on it, and I pulled it up, I was like, no, that's bullshit, and I saved it. I saved it as an image just so you could see, just for all of you people that happen to Google search bloodbath. Here, I'll show you. This is what you get now as compared to what you would get before. And share right here. So what it said here, this was Sunday, March 17th, bloodbath, a ruthless slaughter of a great number of people, a massacre, informal, a period of disastrous loss or reversal. A few mutual funds performed well in the general bloodbath of the stock market. And on Thursday, March 21st, the definition was changed on Google. It says an event or situation which many people are killed or a violent manner. He allowed the protest to go ahead despite warnings it would be a spark a bloodbath. And that's the only definition that it gives now. From 17th to the 21st, they changed the whole definition. And what do you think they did that for? I don't wear the whole tinfoil hat, but making it hard not to. Just saying. You make it really hard not to wear a tinfoil hat whenever you keep pulling shit like that. Leave it in there. If you leave it in there, then then I can make my own decision. Yeah, wow. Well, let's not mention Democrats used that word for years in the media. Well, and they used it in a different term. They didn't use it the same way that he was using it.
It's we all agreed on our crazy Germanic language. Can we at least stick again the old George Carlin, chestnut? We all agreed on the language. Can we stick to the language we all agreed to?
Yeah. Nope. That's not easy. But there is some good news. There is some good news. It's this right here.
Are
Supreme
Beanie
Court
Babies coming
opens
back
new.
together?
No.
Damn
Wait,
it.
that's
Supreme
good
Court-
news.
Oh yeah, opens new frontier for insurrection claims that could target state and local officials. Oh yeah, no, this is hilarious. This is
Oh, and
really
I was
good
talking
news
about the
because-
Beanie Babies being good news. Questioning
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah, we could eat Beanie Babies. Isn't that right? Beans and cornbread. No, sorry.
What kind of beans are they?
I think they're plastic pellets, so I don't know. But China has
Oh.
a good sauce that we could put on them, and then we just lick it off and put them back in the bowl.
Nice. That's awesome. Amen. Two recent Supreme Court actions have opened the door to a new legal frontier, which in local and state officials can be disqualified from the office for engaging in insurrection or providing aid and comfort to enemies of the Constitution based on a post-Civil War addition to the nation's foundational legal document and how the court interpreted it. The Supreme Court on Monday rejected the appeal from New Mexico County Commissioner, who was kicked out of the office after he was convicted of trespassing during January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. The state judge who has barred him from office did so on the grounds his actions violated the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which was added to the Constitution in 1868 to prevent Confederates from returning to government. The move came on the heels of an expedited high court ruling that Section 3 can't be used against federal officials or candidates until Congress writes a law outlawing procedures to do so. That includes former Trump, a target of the national campaign to end his bid to return to the White House via the 14th Amendment. Okay. They put that in there. Their wording was inappropriate and wrong, but we'll let them go. But the court's ruling in the Trump case explicitly said the provision could still be used against state and local officials. So what do you think they're going to do? They're going to go after state and local officials. I love it. You know why this is awesome? Because every single one of them that provides aid or comfort to any political party whatsoever in anything that could be possibly considered insurrection, whether you're Democrat, Republican, liberal, lefty, righty, center, it doesn't matter. If somebody else out there decides that they feel that you provided aid or comfort, they're coming for you. And they will send your ass to prison. And because they consider it treason, yeah, know what happens to people that are tried for treason.
If we had a Republican Party that did anything.
No, it has nothing
But
to do with the Republican Party. It has to do with every single one of them, because and this is where it gets really touchy, because I'm all for it, like sending politicians to the moon afterwards, but just imagine what happens to these politicians whenever they realize what the outcome of that is. Let's put it this way. It is a firing squad. Simple as that. If you're convicted of treason, you're put in front of a firing squad. If you want to take what you're taking from this, there's going to be a lot of politicians that might want to decide to change this outcome, like really soon, because you don't really want to go there.
You would think.
And they're not talking about this, but that is what the offense for treason is. And if you're going to tell these people that you've committed treason as an insurrection, the penalty is death. There's no life without parole. There's none of that, because then you're going against the Justice Code of Military Conduct, and that is death. Simple as that. There's no, oh, well, we'll just let him serve a few years. No, it's death. So.
Well, these are the rules of engagement that the left has set. So
I'm
let them live
just
by it.
saying, you know, if you want to live by it, if you really want to go this way, Section 3 continues to be a viable way of protecting against insurrectionists in state and local government. But first of all, nobody, not a single person, no one from January 6th that was there during January 6th or not there during January 6th or just living in another state possibly, none of those have ever been prosecuted as insurrectionists. Not a single one has served a single day for insurrection. Not a single one.
Mm.
That's
But then
amazing.
then the DOJ would have to do something
No.
to prove it.
Yes.
We can't have that.
Well,
Look at the Discord in your meme section. Do I even have access to that? I think I do. It's there somewhere. I know I have a Discord thing, but good Lord Almighty, I don't use Discord like that. I use it like as a messaging service, and damn it, I will check it out. I can't look at it right now. Damn it, I'm not quick like this. Just I'm not quick like that. Also, I'm on this little bitty screen and computer, and so certain things are really hard for me to do. Doggone it. It's like now I understand what small peen energy is, because damn it, that's what I feel like. It's like I'm struggling.
Apologize to Chris Davison or Patrick Pete Davison right now. That's not nice. He has enough issues. Mostly me not remembering his name.
And that's sort of the point. People are going to start thinking twice or three times about they're going to think three times about going to any sort of speaking engagement where there's large crowds of people for any reason. That's the point. They want to make it where you're scared to go anywhere, where they're scared to go to a political rally where people get together, like-minded individuals have something to say. They're going to make people afraid to go take their grievances to their local PTA meeting or whatever it might be. That's what that is the point. That is the point of all of this. They want to put the fear into you to make sure you don't show up, because what? Oh, you just promoted something. So now we are going to come after you, although you live in a different state. Now it becomes a federal offense, and we're going to arrest you. We're going to haul you in, and we're going to lock you away until we decide that we're going to try you. Speedy trial? This is as speedy as we can move. Yeah. It is all about control, and that is what they are all after, and that is what they will get, and that's what they will do. They will take control of you every single way, shape, and form that they possibly can. And if you want to complain about it, well, we can tie your ass up in court forever, because we have, just like Baldo said, force multiplier. How's your bestie Kevin Spacey doing?
Still kicking. Look, like I say, I don't generally, celebrate anyone passing away. But when Kevin Spacey goes, I will have a cake. There will be, a cake stream. I'm just saying.
So I'm gonna ask if this young lady wants to come on, or you just want to hang in the back room. Just put it in the private chat, and I will let you know. If you're cool coming on, I can make it happen. But in the meantime, what I've got right here is probably the most scary thing that anyone could possibly ever run into. And whenever I say scary, I mean it's scary. Oh my God.
It's time to pull out the pudding pops and put your picture pages away.
I'll
It's
still
bad I still want
to
pudding
see you,
pops.
brother.
You
do.
want a pudding pop so bad, don't you, Mo?
Well,
Yes.
not a well, actually, it still is spring break. Might I get a medicated one? Um,
Well, of course, it's got the secret ingredient into the pudding pop.
Yes. Yes.
It will make you feel so relaxed. You won't
I- y-
remember a thing.
not well. I mean, it is spring
Oh.
break.
Is it spring break? See, I don't know these things.
Yeah, see, for us, spring break was last week. So,
Oh, yes, because you have the teenagers.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
All them
Just-
all them damn kids.
we got them fine childrens that we like to keep, with their burkas on, because in spring breaks we don't let them do these kinds of things.
Dude,
Shame on them.
it's like don't even approach me with that outfit. Don't even approach me. You know better.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. I was like, do they sell full shirts anymore? At what time is there a full shirt anywhere here? Can I just get a full shirt here? Well,
please.
never mind. We'll sew 2 shirts together and it'll be a romper.
2.
Yes.
I was more thinking 4.
Well,
That's probably more accurate. No, it's funny because I'll look for stuff for Diva, and I'm like, that's not a full shirt. Do y'all not sell full shirts anymore? What the hell is this? Like sweatshirts that are half shirts, and I'm like, I'm not buying this.
No, Diva.
This is 30% of a full shirt. Do I get 30%? Do I have to only pay 30% for it, or what?
No, they mark it up 30%.
okay. To be fair
30%.
to them, that is Kohl's cash, and then you get that money back. And they mark it on the little receipt. You saved $170,000 on a pair of pants, and
What's
you
up,
got
Tom?
$50 cold cash back.
Yeah,
And then your wife comes to you and you're like, no one paid $800 for a pair of these pants. And you're like, no, they were gonna, but then I got them for $19.99.
right. No, it's more like, look at all the money I saved. Do you realize how much money we would have saved if you hadn't have bought those things?
Yeah.
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 Well, now that's hard mathing right there.
It's too early in the morning. It's too early in the morning for math, Mo.
Well, and Tom
Look.
Gillis, if I'm not mistaken, he's going to be there for the May get together. He said he was.
Yep. He's also, I think he's going to be on FNL tonight,
Oh,
if I'm not
guys.
mistaken.
If you haven't seen Tom Gillis, he's like a man, a myth, a legend.
He's a trip.
Yes, he is. Get him and what's that crazy Vegas Rick? Get
Oh,
him,
man.
those two together. You put those two in the same room, and you're going to see sparks fly. You'll see. It'll be insane.
Those are the moments I just sit back and watch.
I know. You're just like you've been tricked by that one before.
No input needed.
Oh my god. Well, so you've got Friday Night Live coming up tonight.
Yep. 9 o'clock Eastern on the Experts channel.
My god.
All the usual suspects will be there.
And how is the expert doing? Because I know that he had to go get some teeth issues taken care of, and
Yeah, he's been under the weather the past couple of days. Hopefully things will work out tonight. But
if
keep
not,
in the back of your mind, the schedule is subject to change. So
well, if it does change and he needs some help, he can always holler at me, and we'll make it happen.
that's right.
We'll make it happen. We'll get the whole crew together. He has all the connections, and you can just send them.
Oh,
send
yeah.
them our way. We'll make it happen if we need to. And if not, get the White Rabbit to take over. She knows how to keep these folks in line.
Well, she's better at it than he is.
Well, yeah, she is. Yeah, don't mess with the White Rabbit. She'll crack the whip. Literally and physically, she will She will be cracking it.
One thing I wanted to point out, because I've been listening to the show. Mo, with all them kids, do you really need a younger body? I think you've proven yourself.
I am both. We are both spay and neuter, like Bob Barker said. I can run that everywhere and won't hurt nobody with it. So yes, I do.
Yeah, her ears perked up. As soon as I say crack that whip, here comes T3 in here, just swinging.
Of course, she came running. Of course.
Oh, yes. Yep. You know, she was like, whips change leather things. I am here. I am like so happy. See?
Well, who's not happy with whips and chains?
I'm not.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't do the whole whips and chains thing.
Oh.
No.
Shizzy prefers mental
really
abuse.
missing out.
Mental abuse. I prefer the mental abuse. Just
giving or receiving or both?
Well, I don't know. It just depends on who it is. If it's you, Baldo, both.
I'm down. Let's go.
Shizzy is his own dom.
Yes. I abuse myself on a daily basis. Sometimes 3 or 4 times.
And been doing it since 15.
Yeah.
Maybe younger. That's so bad. You just came in to give a like and leave a like before you try to human. Well, you have a good day. It's good to see T3. Oh my gosh. So we're getting to that point where I know that Mo, you've got newsy news happening here in about 15 minutes.
That's right.
And I will say that what I'll be doing is I'll be kicking everybody over there to go watch Mo in the deep end. Give her a little bit of love.
I'm gonna head on out to check on kiddos, make sure they're still alive, and then going to set up things for Newsy News.
Well, if they're quiet, they're fine, Mo.
No.
Or there's a fire starting.
Or somebody's rubbing two
What do you
sticks
smell
together.
smoke? Do you smell smoke?
There could be.
Or it could just be that they left the cereal in the oven. Don't ask why.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. Cereal's not meant to go in the oven?
No, you're not supposed to leave it in the oven.
Oh,
They're
okay.
just bruleeing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They need one of those kitchen torches, to go over the top of it, make it crisp it up.
Those kitchen torches, you can go to like Lowe's or Home Depot and purchase them for like just a couple bucks and get little extra tanks for them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Shizzy. I'm leaving the youngest, most feral in my will to you now, just for that.
Oh, really?
You sure it's a good idea?
You sure you want to do that? You sure you want to unleash that on the world?
It's sort of a gift of the Magi type thing, though. You understand it's a monkey paw type of gift, right there.
Yeah, but so much for a legacy. If you leave it to Shizzy.
Just saying.
Thank you for having me on. I am going to go set up my own stuff.
Well, you have a good one, Mo, and everybody, make sure you go check out Mo because it's going to get good. See you soon. We are so bad. Bad. Ballstorm. I look forward to tonight. What we need to do is do some sort of fundraising to help with it, get that venue paid for. That's what we need to do.
I'll leave all the details to the professionals.
Well, I'm not a professional. I'm an asshole.
Well, I'm a professional asshole. So
there you go. You're one step up from me.
I'm gonna be teaching a master class one day.
You should teach a master class because I'm really
Don't.
bad at them. Yeah. So we need to come up with something that'll like really promote that, so they can get the venue happening. Any way that I can help, I will definitely do that. Same way with pushing it out there, especially as it gets closer. I'll be pushing it out there a little bit more, but make sure that you get everything set up to be in what is it, Knoxville, Dollywood?
Yeah, Dollywood's May 16th, and then we're doing a Friday night live and in person in Knoxville on the 17th.
God, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to be in Charleston. Son of a buck.
Yeah, but you'll be at Charleston. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. South Carolina isn't what it used to be. We went there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
was it a couple weeks ago? Yeah, it was. Yeah, traffic and everything. I mean, people getting stupid. Like I think a bunch of them there Northerners moved down there and started causing some problems.
Dude, I believe it. I think the last time I was there was like right after all the lockdowns and everything, because they still had like Myrtle Beach opened up, and we went down there and there wasn't a lot of people, which was cool. But yeah, I'm sure it's changed quite a bit since then.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick everybody here and over to Go See Mo. We're going to end this mess for today. Anything you want to say today, Ball Gagger, before we go?
Come check out theprestream.com, and Saturday nights sometime around 8 or 9 or 7, depending on what time zone Sydney is, because time zone, daylight savings and all that. Prestream.com, it has a link there that'll tell you the time. So, yeah, check us out.
There you go. All right, let's kick this thing out of here. Should I give them the fake coffee drinkers, or should I?
Now I gotta call somebody to come get me because my car turned into a spaceship and I don't know how to fly it. I'm not an astronaut.